All right, and I'm John Silks. This is my seven-figure funded club story. Been trying to figure out Forex and manual trading and such for several years, and hadn't had much success of any consistency on my own. And so when I found out about TitanX, I got into that a bit. And that was December of 22 that I started there. And pretty much no trading around the holidays. So I took that time to learn TitanX. Wasn't difficult, and then I started trading sometime probably mid January, which would have been right at a year ago now. Slow results at the beginning, but I was being careful with how much I was putting into it at the time. And so what I've found is the results are going to be based on how much you're willing to or able to invest. And I remember hearing you talk in one of the trainings about the benefits of planting. I kind of learned that later, is just always be planting. And so you're going to have some losing challenges. I've had some losing challenges, but when you're planting consistently, the odds are going to be in your favor, and you're going to start winning more and more.
So tell me, prior to finding us, you had been trying to figure out trading for a little bit, and what was your results like prior?
Well, there's just nothing that helped me to consistently pass the challenge, especially with my obligations with work. And so just never was able to connect to be able to pass challenges and be consistent at trading.
Gotcha. So you already were aware of prop firms and you were trying to pass them, but you never had a good enough edge to pass them. And how did you find our company, and what was the motivation to join there?
I don't know. I had joined Blue Edge maybe as much as a year earlier.
Okay.
And I had studied, some of that stuff. There were some trainings, basically for manual stuff, some basic stuff that was on there. I didn't get too far with that. Titan existed at the time, but it was kind of in a different form. And so everything that I had done at that point, it wasn't connecting for me at that point. And so I kind of moved on and just tried to learn from some different areas. And then it must have been an email that I got as a former member that I found out about what had been changed, the changes that had taken place with TitanX. And so that's when I got involved.
I understand. And so what has been your experience using TitanX and the prop farming process?
Been very successful.
Right. And what would you say was the pivotal moment? Because I know you said you started off slow and then you started having success. What would you say was like, what happened that changed it for you?
Oh, I don't know what to say there. I guess it's just a matter of just having the funds to start with. And I'm probably a little bit different. I've always done 200K challenges instead of 100K. My goal from the start was always I need to get out of my job, and I need to replace my income. And so with 200,000, about $1,000 a shot. And so, and I was putting some of that on credit cards, and I was just trying to ease myself into it. It's kind of tough having, 5 challenges going and haven't been paid yet. And so it's a matter of just kind of letting it go and learning what I'm doing. So I think I had my first 1 or 2 payouts in March. So it was after just a few months. And then at the same time, then there's a learning curve. I thought everything was great. You had a decent payout, and I had a funded account. I remember that I had a really good challenge a really good strategy. It was just killing it for me right at the time. And so I had a payout, and then I had a funded account that was sitting at about $15,000 profit. and I had a second challenge that I just got going, and the strategy was going so well. I'm just going to go with this. Next thing I knew, it was all gone. So the 15,000 that was already in profit, that was just gone. Then the next challenge, that was gone, and just the strategy changed. And so then I just had to keep on pressing. But by summer, I think in June, things really started hitting again, and got some good payouts. But I learned a lot of lessons and learned to not put all the eggs in one basket, and hedge on your strategies a little bit. And through the past year, I've learned that there's going to be good times, there's going to be some bad times. So the summer was great. I got, a good chunk of my profits June, July, and August. And then, in the fall, things got bad again. And I also got hit on the My Forex Funds thing. So I had an $18,000 payout I was expecting the day they announced. I was getting emails, that it's on the way. So it's not like there were any problems. It was about to go into the banking thing, and they got shut down, and it's gone. Yeah. So, sometimes things like that happen, and we just need to take it as part of it. But all in all, following the plan for Titan X has really gotten me to, it's gotten me on the way to where I want to go. Got a lot of places I want to go, but back in July, I was able to leave my job, and I've been completely funded with Titan X since then.
That's awesome. And what other things have happened? Like you were telling me earlier, you went to the big OU football game. I think you were messaging me. You went to Florida. Tell me about that. What other things have changed because of? Oh yeah,
I've done trading. Quite a bit of traveling, and the neat thing is that my wife and I travel first class now. I'm 6'5", so I'm a big guy. My wife's tall, and so just being able to afford the leg room is just amazing, and having the drinks that go along with it doesn't hurt a bit. So yeah, my mom lives in Florida. I've taken a couple trips out there, and the first one with we went last March, and part of it was with some of the payouts that I'd had from the success with Titan X, and took my mom to see the Eagles in Jacksonville, the band, and so those tickets weren't cheap, and so just to be able to do things like that for my family. Later August, I think it was, took my daughter to see my mom in Florida, and took her to Disney World for the first time. So that seemed life-changing for her. She really enjoyed it. Went to the Oklahoma-Texas football game like we were talking about. So flying down there and staying in Dallas and going to that game, which tickets for that aren't cheap. And then also, I guess we got home from Dallas, and we were home a day, and then the next day after that, we were on a plane to Boston. And I took my mom and her husband and my wife to on a foliage tour up in New England. Hot air balloon, whale watching, all kinds of stuff. So it's really been good.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so cool. What would you say, John, is your biggest advice to people that are struggling with trading?
In general, or trading with Titan X? I guess those are two different questions.
Yeah, I guess let's talk specifically to the prop farming community.
Well, I mean, of course, if you were like me and you're committed to making it work, and it's not working, Titan X has an avenue you can step right into, with Blue Edge. So, especially if you already have an understanding of the Forex market, what's going on, what you guys have with Blue Edge is laid out really simple to jump right in with very minimal learning, and really not much. We have strategies that we want to make unique and our own. Doesn't take too much to test that. You get that going and turn it on, and walk away.
What are some of your goals for like this year, for example, or in the future with trading?
Oh, I am actually trying to, again, learn to do some manual trading. And, I'd eventually like to get some personal, get enough and have personal accounts that I'm trading with instead of just relying on prop firms. But really, the same thing was, want to be able to make our money. The other thing I forgot was used, but we did purchase a 2021 Cadillac as well, XT6. And so my wife's loving that. She was in an old Jeep Patriot, and so she definitely prefers driving the Cadillac. So the goal is just to keep going. I expect to make much more than I did last year because I plan to be planting much more consistently. So I'm going to be taking a new challenge every week, and the winnings, what I'm going to earn from that is going to be able to fund that, which I didn't necessarily have that ability to last year.
Cool. Is there anything you'd want to share with our audience, especially those that may be considering, the prop farming program or looking at Titan X? What would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing is to have the right expectations. It works, but it's not necessarily, definitely not 100%. It's not again, I'm having a hard time to define it because I wanted to say it's not a miracle cure or anything like that, but you have to be responsible for what you're doing and the strategies you're coming up with. But just know, hey, it's possible you can lose 4 or 5 challenges, before you get something going. And I've seen people come into our group and they've lost 2 or 3 and they think it's a scam. And it's just, like an analogy you guys have used in some training, it's like flipping a coin. You can flip a coin, going for heads and get tails 3 times in a row. Your quarter's not broken. It's just, that's the odds. But when you're expecting 50 over the long haul, those 3 losses are going to turn into 3 wins down the road. And so it's just a matter of having the right expectations, not putting it on somebody else or blaming you, saying it's a scam, it's not going to work. And again, I know that you guys have a money back guarantee, but when I came in, I saw what was going on. I had enough confidence. I wasn't interested in the guarantee. And so I think sometimes with that mindset, maybe you're not putting enough of yourself into it, or don't have the knowledge of what it's actually doing. But I knew what it was doing. I said, I don't care about a guarantee. This is going to work. This is going to get me to where I want to be. And so a guarantee was never an option. I mean, you guys have it, and that it's necessary. I mean, it's a show that you guys back it up. But for the people coming in, your focus shouldn't be, well, I'll give it a try because there's a guarantee. Your guarantee should give you confidence that you guys are confident, but then put the guarantee out of your mind, do the work, which isn't a lot of work, but just follow the plan. You guys lay out the plan really well. And there's times where, as a knowledgeable trader, to kind of not follow the plan, sometimes you're looking at things. There's been times where I'm just the other day, I was staring at, I think $14,000 profit for the day and thinking, okay, well, should I go ahead and take that or just let Titan do its thing? And I decided to let Titan do its thing. The market turned, and I still made profit for the day, but I lost quite a bit from what was there. There's been other times where I've had that that thought. It's like, oh, I'm going to, turn it off before the news hits. Next thing I know, I would have passed a challenge if I just left it alone. So it kind of plays both ways. But you got to be consistent and just leave it alone. Sometimes in the past I've looked at it all day, or just try to follow what's going on. The thing is, be confident in what you're doing. Just set it up and let it go. And in the end, our testing shows that it's going to work in our favor. But there's little things that we can do. Sometimes we think that we're helping ourselves out, but we can actually be hurting ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
So just follow the plan.
Yeah,
And
that's the
expect failures.
yes.
Expect failures, not overall. Expect little failures. Expect to lose lots of little battles, but we're going to win huge wars.
Yeah.
So just don't get down when you lose those little battles.
Yeah, that's the whole challenge with trading, right? Whether you're trading with the algorithm that's entering and exiting for you, or you're trading manually, it's thinking in terms of probabilities when you're losing money, and it's painful or it's exciting,
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. That's where people shoot themselves in the foot, right? As they knows it, right? Everyone talks about, hey, don't let your emotions get in the way of your trading, but it's easier said than done,
And the crazy thing is, sometimes you think you're doing the right thing, but it wasn't. So I'm trying more and more to learn just to let it do its thing.
Yeah.
That's good. And if I might say, well, I should have closed it. Well, it in a different numbers game, averages, the number of times you do it versus don't do it. And where we know the averages as it's tested, say over the last 3 months, that if we just leave it alone, this is the result we're going to get. So just leave it alone.
Yeah, for sure. As we wrap up here, John, since you are a power user, a product and the program and a success story, is there anything that you think that we could do better on our end? Is there any sort of features or different types of support that you'd want to see from us? I'm curious to hear from you if there's anything that comes to top of mind that you wish you had. Are you interested in the HedgeBot? Have you seen that talk or anything like that?
I have seen that. Sounds interesting. It looks like it's a little bit more work, but it adds some safety.
Yeah.
I haven't done any studying on it. I just saw the announcements and things like that.
Okay.
I think a couple more licenses would be nice, but outside of that, everything is
okay. Cool. Yeah, you can get additional licenses. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, John, I'm happy for you, man, and
appreciate it.
Yeah, I always enjoy hearing your success when you message me on Discord. So stay in touch. I love hearing how you're progressing and everything like that. And if there is anything that comes to mind down the road that you think, hey, we could improve on or do better on, then we're all ears and want to do our best to serve y'all.